Rise and shine. Back at it again with First Time RVers.
Good morning from Daddy Joe's in Tabor City. It is Saturday morning. We got here last night and we had quite a debacle. I'll tell you what happened. Let me show you this first. I started to notice a few months ago that we were getting some swelling. Let me show you. This is what this is made out of, and I've seen this in most campers. You know, your cabinet doors these are real wood. These doors are made out of real wood. The faces are not. What you're seeing here is not wood grain, it's a sticker. This kind of shows you here. You can see it's like contact paper, and it's just wrapped around there. And I knew it was MDF. Why else would you wrap? You know, you wouldn't take nice maple or cherry wood and wrap it in a sticker. I said, oh, these things are made out of MDF, which I guess technically they are, but it's kind of a neat process they got here. So they have some real wood, looks like pine to me, if you guys recall them in the wood business, furniture business. But so you got real wood here, and then a thin thing of MDF, and of course it's wrapped in just a sticker. So it's going to have a little more durability than what I was expecting. But anyways, so I was noticing there was a lot of moisture in here, and this was starting to swell really bad. So I took it under warranty and they replaced it all. And I noticed the shabby work. I'll show you the video here. But basically, I called them up and I said, you know, it's just not acceptable. So they had me take it back, and they had everything prepped. They had already got the parts shipped in and everything. It was supposed to be a quick turnaround. Well, they got into here, and there was so much glue used that this is all, you know, it's supposed to screw on. Well, it's glued together under here. So they have to replace all that. So we got to take it back again. So I talked to the manager there and I said, you know, can you just please, I don't want to bring it back. I don't want to keep hooking it up. I don't want to drive 25 minutes away. Just order everything you need. Let me know when it's in, and we'll show up. I'm sure many of you all know that these RV fridges take a long time to cool down. So we turned ours on for the second time last night when we got here, about 7 o'clock. It's about 7 the next morning, so 12 hours, and we're only down to 42 degrees. So what we like to do is turn it on the day before, so it'll cool off, and when we pack it, it's already cooled off. Because again, when you're packing warm waters into that thing, it's going to fight even harder to cool that stuff off. So this go around, our camper was at the dealership getting some work done. So I picked it up, took it to the storage facility on Wednesday. So my wife asked me to turn on the fridge. So I turned it on Wednesday afternoon, thinking to be okay. We came Thursday, loaded it up. So yesterday I picked the kids up early from school because it's Mother's Day weekend, which is also Maddie's birthday weekend. So we were taking her and 2 of her friends to Daddy Joe's here. We get to the camper, and wouldn't you know it, battery's completely dead. So as most of you all know, and just about anyone could imagine, when you have a dead battery, even in your car, nothing works. So when it came time to hook up, you know, we got this Pro Pride hitch, which works great, but it is finicky to hook up. You got this on a motion here, and that's what helps with your sway. You know, so we're hooked up here, and then this is what helps with your sway. And then of course you got your weight distribution jacks. But you have to get your stinger here lined up darn good to slide into here. Of course, this is wider at the front. You know, it's wider here, but then inside it basically is the same thickness as the Stinger. And then that wider end rolls up here and you strap it in, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I wasn't lined up. I couldn't move the tongue jack. What do? I spent about an hour and 45 minutes trying to figure out how to get this thing hooked up. Got the jack out of my truck, had to use that, was trying to use that to raise this up and down some. And like I said, it's rough to even get it hooked up in the first place, but to have to do it when your tongue jack doesn't work is quite funny. So some of you might say, well, hey, these things are made so you can manually run them. So dum-dum here, the wrench that they give you to run that manually, so that wrench was in this slide right here underneath the bench. Well, what else doesn't work without a battery? The slides. And this particular slide you can access the front bed and the bathroom, but that's it. You can't access anything from that slide back with that slide in. So how am I supposed to get to the wrench? So how dumb was that? Anyways, couldn't use that. So sometimes what you have to do with this Pro Pride is, depending on what kind of angle your truck and camper are, you have to raise this weight distribution jack, and it will kind of move that piece, you know, like that. And you have to adjust it that way. So, I mean, I was trying non-stop for, like I said, good hour and 15 minutes or so. Finally got that sucker hooked up. I put a jack, my truck jack, underneath here on some blocks and kept jacking this up and down and moving those weight distribution bars, trying to get it on. So I finally get it on. Well, guess what? I still got the tongue jack down, and that tongue jack has to be up past these weight distribution bars, because this thing, so you can see here, when this bad boy moves, those weight distribution bars will hit the tongue jack down there. So I jacked it up again. I took the little extension piece off, and I couldn't think what to do. I had to get that up. So what'd I do? I cut the wire, took this sucker off, unbolted it, took it all the way off. Said, forget it. When I get to the campground, I'll figure it out. So that's what I did. So I called Dawn. Hey, we're good to go. We'll be on our way. She was at home. She got home from work early, but she went home just to, you know, kind of finish up packing and stuff. Then I start letting the jack down, my truck jack down, and I let it down, and I let it down, and I let it down. I get all the way down. And now, of course, with the weight of the camper on the truck, I'm sunk all the way down. I can't get the jack out. It's on a couple blocks. I can't get the jack out. So by now I'm sweaty. It's rained a little bit. The girls are very anxious. They're so excited to get here. We expected to be here 5:30, 6 o'clock, around dinner time. So what the heck did I do? I said enough's enough. And I risked it. I don't recommend anyone risking it, but I risked it. And I just backed the whole thing up and kind of just knocked that jack off of the blocks of wood. Threw everything in the back of my truck, and finally on we went. So we ended up getting here about 7:15, basically about 2 hours later than we had expected to get here. And then, of course, what do we got to do? Our battery's still dead, it did not charge on the ride, so I think that battery might be gone. You know, I guess it's one of those style batteries where you're just really not supposed to get it all the way empty, get the charge all the way out of it, and that's what we did. So I may be putting a battery on. I'm gonna check it today. But so I get here, Madison's clothes were in the bunkhouse, so she couldn't get to her bathing suit. Her two friends were able to get their bathing suits. So basically, we got here, I left the truck hooked up, plugged in the battery so we could get going on the inside so the girls could get out and play some. And then I had to do a little temporary fix here and just rewire it real quick. Just did a temporary cap on the wire there, and I'll fix the rest when we get back. Hey guys, you can see we're back home. I shot a video on Sunday before we left, and I don't know what the heck happened to it, so I had to redo one from home here.
Hey man,
yes,
is this the escalator that leads to the mall?
Yes it is.
Okay.
She is funny. Anyways, luckily the battery did keep a charge, so we didn't have to buy a new battery, and all in all the weekend ended up great. You know, that 2 hours was terrible at the time, but the weekend turned out great. Oh, look who's back.
I had a fun time at the mall, but was too lazy to take the escalator again. So I took the elevator.
So, as always, thanks for watching. Please
like, share, subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell.
All right. We'll see you, I think, from Charleston KOA Memorial Day weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.